Country music duo Naomi and Winona Judd sold 20 million albums, had 15 #1 hits, and won the adoration of millions of fans in the 80s. As Naomi shares in her book River of Time, her rise to superstardom took her on a very troubled journey.
Hi there, I'm Naomi Judd, and what I would definitely tell my younger self is don't stigmatize people. You're going to lose your ability, your chance to get to know them as a real human being. And I've learned through my dark days and my journey that depression is a disease of the brain, just like heart disease is a disease of the heart, or hepatitis is a disease of the liver. I had that. And with depression, it is partly genetic, and it's partially environment and circumstances, and then choices. So I've learned I have to take my medication, do my therapies, and be constantly vigilant about my moods. And when I was doing my research on my book River of Time, I learned that there are 40, this is crazy, didn't mean to use that word. In my research I learned that there are 40 million of us. I can't even grasp that. There are 40 million of us who have depression and anxiety. So please, my name is Judd, and I've learned don't judge people. And just think about it this way, if each one of us practiced being more kind, we could all literally change the world.
You loved your daddy.
Very much.
But at one point, at some juncture, he left your family, was that it? And that did a number on you.
That's your bedrock for all your future relationships, and that's your security when you're a kid.
So you lost that.
I lost it because Daddy left us for a younger girl.
So your mother wasn't exactly demonstrative in her love toward you either, was she?
No. I don't ever remember my mom being in my bedroom. There were no bedtime stories. I don't remember her telling me she loved me, or she was a good woman. She is a good woman. She's in a nursing home now.
How did that work out in your personal relationships as you got older? How could you express love if you had never experienced love?
You've read the book.
You know what? I really did, from cover to cover. I've got it all underlined.
You know what's coming. I picked guys that were completely not just inappropriate, but dangerous. When I was 22 years old, I'd already had some bad relationships.
By then, she'd been date raped, married, and several years later, divorced. Naomi did her best to make it as a single mom to two little girls, Winona and Ashley. The sacrifices you made in raising those two girls, you were living out of soup cans.
Yep.
Roach-infested motels, all kinds of. How did you pull that off?
I barely had a high school diploma. I had no job skills, and I was having to support the three of us, and I was working minimum wage jobs, and just sometimes I'd get a paycheck behind, think we were going to have to live on the streets. But I had to be cheerful for the kids. I always had, I know in the book of Hebrews, I think it's chapter 11, verse 1, where it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I always had the sense that there was something on the other side, that there was something better.
Where did music come into the picture?
Well, we started playing guitar and singing songs, Winona and I. Frankly, she was 12 and we couldn't even talk to each other sometimes. But the most incredible thing happened. We could sing together.
In 1979, Naomi moved her family to Nashville, hoping to break into country music. In 1983, she and Winona landed their first recording contract and soon tasted all that comes with stardom. Was applause of strangers for the most part, but fans, people who met you, surrounded by all that fame, fortune, awards. Did that do it for you?
I loved it. I loved every second of it. It was such a wild adventure, seeing a different city every time you woke up in the morning, getting to play Madison Square Garden, Carnegie Hall, and then to meet all these people that I'd only seen on TV or heard on the radio. It was, you can't even make this fantasy up.
Also, during that time, she married the love of her life, Larry Strickland. Then in 1991, at the peak of their career, Naomi stunned her fans when she announced she had hepatitis C and had to retire. Many years later, she battled severe depression. So when that is removed from you, where does it leave you when the next day or the next month? No more of these moments. Well, you're dealing with real life.
The phone never rang. Got so bad, I was actually suicidal.
Suicidal.
Yep.
And you were in your bathroom looking in the mirror at yourself.